This is LastPlayerStanding.com's first tournament. It's our open tournament number 1. We are going to jump right into the round of 8, and it is going to be between our Zerg player Odyssey and another Zerg player Avriku. And yeah, let's get things going. Are you ready to go, Entropy?
I'm ready for a ZVZ and hopefully some other great games as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to get started here on Xel'Naga Caverns. Up in the blue color is our first Zerg player, none other than Odyssey. Spawning up at the top and down at the bottom is our red Zerg player Avriku. So ZVZ has been getting pretty interesting lately. I mean, we've seen a lot longer ZVZs. It's evolved beyond just kind of like the Baneling Wars that we've known and loved since StarCraft 2 came out. But I don't know. I mean, it's kind of interesting because neither you or I actually play Zerg, so this is probably like the ultimate matchup we know the least about.
Well, what I know about it is sometimes the person who's able to make more drones wins, and sometimes the person that deliberately makes a lot less drones wins.
Yeah, it can be very coin flippy at times. You know, one player decides it's really about kind of how greedy can you be. You know, if you can get away with something and get that edge, then you can, you know, be greedy and you can get ahead and eventually win. But if your opponent goes, oh, he's getting a hatchery, I'm just going to go ahead and make a ton of speedlings, then the game can end right there. So you very, very seldom see players go for that really early hatchery in ZVZ. It's more or less suicidal. But I wouldn't be surprised at all to see either one of these players go for something like a speedling expand or something like that. And so far, both players, though, are saving up no gases yet. There's a gas going down now for Avriku. And what is Odyssey going to do? We're going to find out here. If he goes for a hatch first, I'm going to lose my mind. Alright, pool first for Odyssey. So this is a little bit more normal. It's a little bit more economical. But, you know, Avriku will have that speed a little bit sooner.
Yeah, and that's always extremely important. In fact, we even saw Nest T in the GSL do a very cute little rush that ended up giving him a really strong advantage using the fact that he had speed like 10 in-game seconds before his opponent.
Yeah, no kidding. It's been it was actually pretty crazy. I mean, Nest T, though, he's like the Zerg versus Zerg master. I don't know. It's like him and Xel'Naga. Those guys, I could just watch those guys play ZVZ all day.
Yeah, for sure.
And Xel'Naga's the only person that's actually beaten him in a televised ZVZ, too.
Yep, yeah. Unfortunately, it might be a while before we see them play again.
Oh, yeah, a long time, I think. What is this? Wow, really fast evolution chamber for Avriku. That's an interesting choice. Maybe going for a really fast +1 or something like that. I guess I haven't seen that too often in ZVZ.
That's really the only thing I can think of.
Must be, and Zergling speed is going to get started fairly soon, I would have to imagine, and leaving drones on gas as well. I suppose he'll need to if he wants to get that +1 really quickly.
Yeah, but he's still waiting on mineral seeds. Since he got that early gas, he's really just kind of doesn't have enough minerals to do much, and there we finally see Zergling speed go down.
There's a Zergling speed. In the meantime, our blue Zerg player, Odyssey, has he gotten Zerg speed started? No, he hasn't yet. He does finally have enough gas right now, but he just spends the minerals on an Overlord. Whoops, I think it probably would have been better to get that speed right away first and then go for the Overlord and a Roach Warren for him. And I kind of like this play. When I do my ZVZs back when I played Zerg for a while, I would always go for the Roach Warren. It's a little bit safer, a little bit more stable. You can micro them against Banelings fairly easily. We see Nest T going for the Roach Warren quite a bit. So yeah, that's I think that's a good decision, and I'm going to put myself on busy.
It's a lot easier to keep yourself safe when you go straight roaches as opposed to going speedlings. It's a lot harder to be aggressive, but you can generally defend a lot easier against a lot of the early Zerg gameplay.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really, really curious. Yeah, he is indeed going. Looks like Avriku is actually going for that +1. And I mean, I don't know how big of a difference that really makes. I don't think Zerglings will kill other Zerglings really any faster with +1. So a very, very questionable decision, I would say.
Well, it looks like he's going to be going up only against roaches, and so it's going to be how the Zerglings do against the roaches, and that's generally just more positioning based. You know, it's certainly going to help. But actually, the +1 for the ranged, I think, makes a bigger difference for the roaches, just because they will go from 16 damage up to 18 against the Zerglings.
Yeah, that does help a little bit more, and I mean that's something you see a little bit more commonly too in ZVZ. Is you see that early Evo chamber given to, or used to give upgrades to the roaches rather.
In fact, this will make the roaches two-shot the lings, so he is going to be able to do very well against any Zergling aggression once he does get that upgrade.
Yeah, absolutely.
And here we
go. And here come a lot of Zerglings, and that Queen is actually going to get caught way out of position. That Overlord kind of luring her out off the creep, and these Zerglings, yeah, they're not going to be able to really take out the roaches. Well, maybe will. Wow. I was about to say they won't be able to take out the roaches, but okay, now that's a little bit better positioning there.
Moves back to the Sim City, and looks like he's going to hold this off just fine. He's got 7 roaches in production, another Queen.
Yeah.
So this did a little bit of damage, but not a whole lot, really.
Yeah, he's actually going to be perfectly fine. I don't think a single drone died. Only one of the roaches ended up dying. He did lose that second queen, but he really didn't need it at this point. It was kind of surprising that he made a second queen to begin with.
Yeah, especially on one base.
No kidding. But let's see. Oh, a hatchery then from Avriku.
This is good because he does have map control with the Zerglings, and since he's using Zerglings, he's running off a lot. Or the roaches are a lot more efficient on larvae, and so he does need the extra larvae to continue with the Zergling aggression versus a roach army.
You know what's really interesting? I just noticed there's like black highlights around when a player is selecting a unit, and it used to be like highlights in the color of the player that was doing it. This must be like a new change or something, because I don't ever remember seeing a like black highlight around the units in the past.
I have a feeling it's a graphical bug.
I don't know. If it is, it's too bad because I like it. It's easier to see.
Yeah, it's kind of subtle.
It's cool. I've never noticed that before, but I like it. We're gonna pretend it's intended, because that makes it awesome. A lot of Zerglings out right now for Avriku. In terms of supply, both players, well, I mean, fairly even in a ZVZ. Avriku is behind, but that number can, shoot up very, very quickly. As far as the drone count goes, that's the big story. 25 to 19. Odyssey really playing a lot more stable, a lot more safe. I'd say his expansion is a lot more safe, but at the same time, he's not as mobile as Avriku is.
Yeah, and he needs to be really careful and just be aware that his opponent does have a lot of Sweelings. He doesn't have a whole lot of scouting, he doesn't have a lot of information as to what's going on, so he really needs to be on his toes to make sure that this Zergling army isn't able to get into his base at all.
Yeah, and I think it's at least going to go in possibly... No, it's not going to be able to deny the hatch. Those roaches are going to be able to take it away, but it looks like Avriku's going for it, and the hatch does get denied, and another queen might actually go down. Oh wow, it's a bad day to be a queen in Odyssey's army.
Well, that was good, because it wasn't even a cancel. He just killed the hatch with that.
No, he canceled it. I saw the drone.
Oh, I didn't see the drone.
Yep.
Okay.
He canceled it. But still, I mean, he lost a queen. He canceled his hatchery. Not the best situation for Odyssey, but he is going to move out. And he does have a pretty strong army. He's doubling the supply of Avriku right now. And Avriku responding with 4 spine crawlers. But are they going to get up in time?
Does not look like it.
Nope. I can tell you the answer right away. Entropy. I know what the answer is. It's no.
I saw one queen with not enough energy to transfuse either, so he's going to be in a lot of trouble.
Tiny counterattack going here, but I think he's going to need the Zerglings down at the bottom, as these roaches are just going to tear through absolutely everything. That queen going to go down very quickly, and there's already enough roaches to block the ramp. Great play by Odyssey. Yeah, Odyssey's just looking great right now.
Yep, he played a lot safer than his opponent and just won every engagement.
Yeah, he's got that +1 too, which also does make that big difference, like we were talking about a little bit earlier. This hatchery is going to go down. The Zergling's coming back to try to defend, but that is going to be about it. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we saw a GG any second here.
Well, he just made 20 lings, and if he would have timed those out a little better with his counterattacking army, he might have been able to do a little more, but as it is, he's just going to get cleaned up here.
Yeah, the roaches kill the Zerglings so fast. I mean, people a lot of times underestimate just how good roaches are against lings. Even if you get that kind of light surround, it's still really hard to take out a big pack of roaches, especially after they have that +1. So now the roaches just kind of hanging out. They're like, alright, fine, we will kill the base, sure.
Well, it's like when you're practicing against a computer, you don't want him to actually build anything, so you just kill all of his units and leave a couple buildings up.
There you go. That's a lot of roaches coming in to reinforce. There's a GG and a G from Odyssey as well. And that is going to be the end of Game 1. We're going to have to go to Game 2 in a moment to see who's going to come out on top. This is a best